Hello, and welcome to the Shiba Chat Show. This is your podcast for all things Shiba Inu. On Shiba Chat, you will learn about health, training, education, nutrition, grooming, art, owner stories, and experiences about our beloved, fluffy, and natural monument of Japan, the Shiba Inu. We will be helpful and fun, full of guests like Shiba owners, trainers, nerds, and experts from around the globe. Now, here is your host, directly from Portugal, Charlie Mancini.
What type of certificates or warranty do you offer to your clients, to the one that
I offer two kind of guarantees. One guarantee is when I give the puppy at 9 weeks, he has vet certificated. He has been ausculted the heart. He's certificated that testicles are not in the bag, but in the channel.
Yes.
And he has health certification, is vaccinated, microchip, etc. Then the main guarantee is since the dog is adult. Because for the money that you give me, of course, you have to have a proper puppy. But the money that you give me is the money that guarantees that your adult dog will be the same quality of my dog for health and type and morphology. Character, I can do my best, but if you don't take care of your dog, he will not have the same character.
Yeah, of course, yes.
So we give two guarantees. One is the vet guarantee when the puppy is leaving the kennel, and then when and the proper guarantee is since the dog is adult, and means that if the dog has like a immune system illness that he can die, it's not up to us because we didn't know. It's not up to you because you take good care of the dogs. But you have given the money for the adult dog. And so I have to give you back or full money, or otherwise I can say to you, I give you another puppy. But you can say, listen, you speak, you're very funny, but the dog is dead. So I don't want to risk. I want my money back, and I give you your money back.
I see. So that's the guarantee. Tell us about like a funny moment. You must have lots of funny moments since you've been breeding for 46 years.
For funny moments, I can divide in 2 or 3 kind of people coming for puppies. And I can tell you one story that has happened a few months ago. Dog shows, because I've been many dog shows, and breeding episodes. Allora, first of all, many times people come here and they think to come to a zoo. So the typical family with the father, the mother, the big car, and they want a Shiba. It happened a few months ago. A guy was following me for a week, intensively, obsessively. And then I said, okay, come Sunday afternoon, so you can meet the dog and we can meet each other and we will see. The guy came, he was driving like 3 hours, and with an enormous car, very nice car. I have a Mercedes, but this was a proper car. Yes. This car didn't drive silent. This car is coming from the moon. It's like an UFO. Anyway, him, the wife, and 2 young kids, 14, 16. The 2 kids went inside the gate. There was all the dogs around because I have like 7, 8 dogs all together. And the guy come in. The mother, she was outside the gate and said, and they say to the lady, come on, lady, come in because otherwise the dogs run away. And the lady said, no, I'm scared of dogs. Okay. So I called back the man and the 2 kids and they said, can you come out of the gate, please? Lock the gate, coming out of the gate, and say, listen, lady, I'm sorry that you're scared of dogs, but why you're coming here? She said, because I want to do some tests. Listen, you can do some tests at home or with other dogs, But if you do some tests and your tests are silly tests, my dogs get scared. So please, can you go back to your place? You know, this guy was phoned me the morning after, then they went. I was very tough with them. If I'm vegetarian, I don't go to a butcher and they say, oh, what well, no. If you don't love dogs, you don't go to a dog breeder.
Yeah, of course. It's common sense. Senso comune.
Senso comunale. Che cazzo. Perché? And that was, but this is an episode that can help, can happen. I don't know. Now I can find, because I don't know, there have been many, but funny, like, yes, once a woman that she had a Shiba from me, a female, she get mated by a mongrel because dogs went and another dog mate her. And she got puppies, mongrel, that she gave to some friends. It was 3 puppies. So the lady, she was phoning to me and coming after she was coming. And she said, you know, I'm so worried about my bitch because, you know, after what has happened. I said, what has happened? I mean, she got a litter of mongrel, but that's it. I mean, what's wrong? No, you don't know that because you're breeding purebred, pure dogs. But when a bitch is mated by a mongrel, she will produce mongrel all her life. He said, listen, I don't think it's like this, honestly. But this lady, she was so worried about the dog, you know, that she was so worried. Sometimes the owners, they get so attached to the Shiba. It becomes like a mental, because they give so much.
Mental what? Mental what?
There is no analyst, there is no doctors, there is no sex, there is no drugs that give all this pleasure. To touch your Shiba when you are on your sofa, to stay in the house in a silent with this animal that you know that is there. So why I told you this story of the litter, that she think that she'll give puppies mongrel life, because the most peculiar things in Shiba owners is that they get so hooked by the breed, if the dog is well bred, that is incredible. No other breed get the people like this because they're intelligent.
Yeah, I've seen the passion in Shiba Inu breeders and vets, and I've interviewed one Shiba veterinarian. He only does Shiba, you know. He's from São Paulo, Brazil. He lived in Japan and Switzerland, but he's only like obsessed, and he's a breeder too.
It's an obsession because their ears, their eyes, their coat on the face, the colors that they change. Because you know the Shiba, they change colors because when you have a red Shiba, it's red when it's in full coat, but it's like a tree. When it's losing, like in October or in autumn, they became another color.
Yeah, like yellow, for instance, or brownish.
Yellow, or the black and tan, they became. I don't know, for me, is a breed that is so complete, so old, but very modern. If you walk with a Shiba in the town and you go in a shop and someone look at you, come dire, I like to say that you cannot come in with a dog. The Shiba look at these people like, are you sure you can't be here? You know, they twist.
I see. Things. They twist the human mind. Like,
I mean, hey, okay, because you are you that you cannot be here. Me, I can be here. Okay, you know.
I see.
You know, it's like the Shibas are like this.
Yeah, maybe they could change the laws in many countries, like saying no dogs allowed. And then
I tell you, now I have a very, very nice story to tell you that has happened to a dog of mine. Allora, many years ago, like 25 years ago, there was a breeder in Sicily that wanted to start, a good breeder of Akita, that he wanted to start Shiba. So he got dogs from me. He got one dog from me, a male, become champion, etc. This guy was living in Cefalu, that is a little town on the sea in Sicily. He worked in the administration, in the office, and he had a country house where he bred the Akita. When he had this dog always ran away from the garden and went in the village since he was a puppy and went around to the police station, wah, 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 and they give a biscuit. To the butcher, wah, 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 but since he was a little boy, a little puppy, so everybody was let him do it. A day, there was some bad people, jealous people, that they start to say that to the mayor of the village, we don't want this dog loose. We don't like this dog loose. And each morning, this dog went to the priest, to the police station, to the bar, to the cafeteria, and so everybody. Then he went home. So there was coming a big problem in the village. And so the mayor of the village make a public vote to understand if the majority of the village want the dog loose or if his owner has to take the dog close. So the majority of the people said the dog can be loose because he was spreading love. You know what is? That's the point. But that's not just the point of Shiba. That's the point of life. Because if each of us, we don't give the best to the others, without judgment, without hypocrisy, without prejudging, world will become a proper world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And this is, Shiba is the glue for that. I have a big community of people that have my dogs because me, I'm breeding 40, 50, 60 puppies a year. So in many years, I have many people because, you know, a dog lives 15 years. So a dog that is born 10 years ago, then there are 50 that born 9 years ago. And then, so the number is huge, no? Yeah. So I have this big community and everybody is so happy with that dog. I have many people that have 2, 3 dogs for me. It's a sort of a high dependence to have a Shiba. Because when you have a Shiba, you understand that power is inside, not outside. It's sort of home. It's a sort of oriental. It's like
like a refuge, like spot that you can find balance.
You know what the Japanese said about the Shiba? Shiba is done by 4 things. He's a quarter of a dog because he's a hunting dog. Yeah, absolutely. He's a quarter of a cat because when he stay home, you don't see him. He's silent for hours. He stay with his tail. It's like a big cat. He's a quarter of a monkey. Because if you want to go out from somewhere, you go. Or you do something with the legs, really like a monkey. And is a quarter of a soul. Because sometimes Shiba look at you and they touch your soul. They go directly to your soul. I don't know why. I think because they're primitive, very primitive in their DNA. And also because they are Oriental dog, Asiatic dog. So they have this quiet with the primitive that makes the timing that the dogs relate with his owner so special, so sweet.
Yeah, it's curious you telling me about that because I've never looked for dogs, and now I think I'm a new person. Like when I see a dog on the street, it's different. You know, I've been researching all day long, like for 3 or 4 months about Shiba Inu breed, And I've changed my mind. I've changed the way I think. It's so strange. I can't explain with words, or I don't have the proper English vocabulary. But I've changed my way of thinking. And the moment that Alberto says, "This puppy is yours," I became another person.
You know what you have to do it. You have to learn to do it with time, because you have a long time with your dog. Capito?
Yeah.
You have a long time. So don't burn the love with him, because otherwise he will take the chance of you. You know, they're like this, Shiba. If they see that you are too much for them, then they became very nasty and they laugh at you and they said, okay, I'm very good. And then when it's the moment, I do what I want. With Shiba is a question of leadership. They are primitive dogs, very primitive, with a very high DNA of similarity of a dingo. So the leader has to be a proper leader. They have to be a right leader, not just a owner, a leader. I mean, sometimes I don't look at you, Capito. Sometimes I ignore you, dog. You know, that's the leadership that they want. So they start to get ideas. He said, why doesn't he look at me? So they start to do other things. And if you keep on, but you observe, then you understand how they go consequently. They use the legs, they use the ears, they open the mouth like this. You know, it's very important when you get hooked by the breeder to choose a good breeder, to have a nice dog, and to wait. To wait, because you have a long time with him.
Yeah, and sometimes the owners they think they don't have that time, so they give everything, like when they are puppies or something, they get like boof, like obsessed.
Once a very good breeder in UK told me one thing, that he was not a breeder of Shiba, was another guy, and he told me, I said to him, I mean, but the dogs, they give so much. I was a young guy, and I said, the dogs, they give so much, and they said, it's pity that they live so little, because they don't live long, if you think. And this guy looked at me, was a judge, was a dog person. He looked at me and said, you cannot have both. Be happy to have short time of high quality with your dog. You know, it's strange, but the quality that the Shiba transmit on their behaving, on their emotions, is incredible. Incredible. And me, I love to breed dogs that this quality. Quiet and intelligence and a good habitat to live.
Mm. So for you, that's the perfect dog, like that is very smart, very clever, very intelligent, very bright, but
But
at the
very
same
well
time he
built,
can be quiet and calm.
very well built, elegant, because I'm Italian. We love beauty. We love the beauty. I'm a photographer. I mean, I own a castle of my family that is built before the 1000. I've been born in the beauty. I love beauty. I mean, for me, beauty is a pleasure. And the dog, a Shiba, has to be beautiful in his character, beautiful in his health, and beautiful in his morphology and technical type. Cioè, proprio the technical part. That's what I love. I think a good breeder has to go for all the three things together. And the fourth things is a good owner.
Yes, a good human being and attentive. So you were telling me that a good trick is not to be constantly looking after him, after the Shiba, but sometimes you can like almost despise the dog, but at the same time you are aware of him.
Yeah. You have to go exactly in the same frequency of his way of thinking and looking at you. Then you can be back a human and understand that his way is very intelligent, so he needs stimulation, but also need to be handled down. You know, Vilma Sandemer, Mayashima, she's a very good friend of mine. I have a dog now that we're taking a dog show tomorrow, and she's bred by another guy, but the father is of Vilma. And Vilma always told me one thing: Shiba, they need to be broken psychologically. You know what I mean? They need to. She always told me this story. She said, and they said, "What do you mean?" And then I have understand after many years what mean to be broken psychologically. So Shiba, you cannot stop them physically. If they don't want to do something, then you have to use your brain, your energy, to make it them
to stop it, like the action.
To go whack. Non outside, inside. You know, another funny story about showing. I had a dog many years ago. One was from one of the first my dogs. It was called Akemi. It was a dog with French blood and Japanese blood. It was a beautiful dog. It was a Sesame, very Shiba, not small, but not enormous. And this dog, it was champion, international champion. When I show him, he was a very tough guy. He didn't like it to be handled, but he did it because, of course, in the ring, he did it. So when he got a little bit pissed off because I was pushing him a little too much for the competition, you know what he did? I did more than once. I was running with the dogs in the ring, and he was turning himself. When he was walking, he was twisting himself, double, and he was looking at me, and still continues to walk. Come dire, wait, cool down, because I will make a story, because he didn't like the context. So it was when we went on the ring, on the dog shows.
Yes.
And of course, there are many people. He twists himself with the legs. He twists and he comes back on his legs. And he was looking at him and he did, come dire, And that was very funny because I learned that I could not force him more than a point because he was not accepting. Cioè, Shiba has small dogs with a huge character behind. Huge. Small dogs with big balls behind, but big balls. Also with other animals. I live in the country, and of course we have a wild boar here. And there was a period that there was 4 wild boars just coming nearby the runs. And in the night, the wild boars, they're not very funny. They stay there, they don't move. And they went near the fence, but like 10 centimeters. And there was like 2 or 3 Shiba, but really near the fence. But really, you can see really that they're not scared about. They're not, because, a wild boar can take it down the fence. They're 140 kilos.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we have javeli. We say javeli.
Javeli. But you have something very nice that there are these little shells that they stay on the string of the boats, and it's especially in the Algarve. It's called.
It's called perceve.
Perceve.
Perceve. Yeah.
But do you have? But listen, do you have garden? Do you have a garden?
Yes, I do have. Yes, I do have.
What you have? Family, kids?
I have only one child. She's 16 years old, Matilda.
Okay, she's good.
Yeah, she's good.
You have also a wife or not?
Yes, a wife, yes. We are 3 in the house. It's a big house, and
what is your job?
Sorry?
Yeah. What is your job?
I'm a composer, a film composer, a silent film accompanist.
Nice.
Silent film. Yes,
music.
yes. I compose music and I have a recording studio here at house.
Very
At the
nice.
house. Yes, since
Not
2005. I can send you a few links for you to appreciate my music if you like beauty.
But you compose for movies.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for Portuguese independent.
I
Mainly
have a guy.
documentaries. Mainly documentaries. Yes.
I have a guy that has a dog from me, a beautiful red boy, that is called Massimiliano Lazzaretti di Roma.
I will note it. Massimiliano
Lazzaretti.
Nazareth.
L, like lion.
Like Lazzaro.
Yeah.
Lazzaretti.
Lazzaretti, and he's a composer, and he composed for the Italian TV, for
Okay.
movie,
Okay.
and there's a Shiba,
Yeah. Okay. I think we're done. I will stop recording. Thank you very much. Grazie mille.
Che non sono troppo dispersivo.
Shiba Chat.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Shiba Chat Show. And now it's time for you to go play with a Shiba Inu. If you'd like to get in touch, please send us an email to shibachatshow@gmail.com. Bye for now.